Syndicate. So, I have limited knowledge of the Assassin's Creed series. I have no knowledge of the Ezio trilogy, and I do know. So I know what the two orders are. I know what the Animus is. I'm aware of who Desmond is. Several other figures, but I don't know everything. And this was actually recommended to me by Draven. Who?
Sorry. I'm here. Just blanked out because I was reading a message.
So yeah, Draven's the one who actually gave me information on this series, and was the one who showed me.
I had to give them a refresher course since they have played one of the games before, but the last time they played it was a while ago. Let's just say that.
Almost 2 years. And it was only like the first... It was only the first assassination of the very first game, so... I know enough to not be confused. I will not understand. So... Enough preamble.
I'll be here providing more bits if I need to.
Enough preamble, let's get right into this. Starting with, of course, a cutscene. And if you couldn't notice, I actually did start the stream earlier, but then my internet decided to say screw you and did not work. So if you want to see that, it should be on my channel. So if you want the opening sequence, you should go look at that.
Yeah, for the best.
The Templar running things is Rupert Ferris and our target 1. Target 2 is Sir David Brewster, who's got his hands on a bauble that could ruin us in this wretched war. Think you both can handle it?
What a question.
All right. My mistake. Ladies and gentlemen, the unstoppable Fry twins. See them nightly at Covent Garden.
Right.
George, honestly, I've studied the plans of the laboratory and have every route covered.
And I've got all I need.
Right here.
I'll extend your regards to Ferris.
Chat later, George. We've a train to catch.
Jacob! Evie! May the creed guide you, you vagrants!
Poor man. More afraid than ever. Years have not been kind.
E.B. Fry, where did you get it from?
The same place as you, Jacob.
Have fun.
Don't die.
How long does he intend to go on like this? He's disrupting the other workers. Shut his trap and get the machine fixed. And send me some laudanum for my head.
Coming right up.
Sail to our first target. More importantly, say hello to Jacob Fry. Jacob Fry is the younger of the two Fryer twins and the character who I will be playing mostly throughout this adventure. how Jacob looks and how he feels more than his sister Evie, and I am much more of a bruiser than someone who's good at stealth. But let me put it this way: whenever I try and stealth, it never pays off. And Jacob naturally is a better tool to work for my uniqueness. So we have several things to do. Firstly, Templar conspiracy. Our first two targets, and several things of what's going to happen later on, along with Crawford Starrick. For now, let's look at Rupert Ferris. Born 15th of August, 1830. Aging parents. Child and divorced shortly after. But then neither of you should shut up. In essence, Rupert Ferris is a bland crook. I will not go into David Brewster yet, but complex activities. I'll get into these when they come up. The Notebook and the Secrets of London, can't get that info yet. Or the perks. The progress tracker. So far, we have story, and we can't access anything else. In essence, the story is the main bits, associated activities, these important NPCs. No, sorry, it's those complex activities I mentioned. London story is important NPCs, and miscellaneous is essentially the collectibles. Along with that, we also have several entries. For starters, Evie and Jacob Fry. If you want to read this, you can go ahead and read. You can pause the video. You can pause the stream. In essence, Jacob and Evie Fry are twins and troublemakers. Evie is more studious and more interested in the pieces of Eden, while Jacob is more upfront and wanting to take down things more personally. Pieces of Eden. Put it simply, pieces from an ancient civilization. All you need to know. Enemies, Rupert Ferris. Other people. We have George Westhouse. The person who is honestly not important. Then we have present day. So as we have Bishop, who is mission control. Isabel Ardant, someone who I believe is not important. Rebecca Crane, a character who's been in this series for quite a while, according to Draven. And it's essentially the more bushish of the two.
Yeah, she's been around for a bit. She first appeared in Assassin's Creed 2.
And then we have Sean Hastings, the man who is writing all of these database entries. Put, he's the smart one of the group. And he found a millennial conspiracy that reached the highest level of power imaginable and thought the best idea about it would be to make a bunch of noise. Also, there's a nice little quip at the player at the bottom. I, for one, do not find him an arrogant bastard. I find him wonderful.
He is a charming lad. Also doesn't help if you ever played Portal 2. He's the voice of Wheatley.
Ah, I knew it. Personally, I like Sean because he's a lot like me, especially in the snark. Oh right, miscellaneous. I almost forgot about this. Abstergo, big Templar facility that made the Animus, which is what we're in to see in the past, and the Helix is the software that the Animus uses. I'm not going to show all of these. I have no time for that. And as for all these, I can show these through practical execution. Including these. And these. And these. And all these. I will note that if you're expecting a very stealthy playthrough where I don't kill anybody and everything is on track, stop watching.
We don't play the safe game around here.
Let me put it this way. I may have actually pissed off the entire police force at one point, and instead of running away like a smart man, I murdered the entire place. I can be sneaky, but that's because I want to get more stuff. If I don't have to be sneaky, I will go in fist blazing, since at this point my weapons are knuckles. Well, brass knuckles. We also have, of course, essentially spider sense. All you need to know is, if something doesn't have color, it's not important or it's a scenery. If it's red, it's an enemy. If it's green, it's an ally. If it's blue, it's law enforcement, so don't piss them off. And if it's yellow, it's related to the mission. Also, yes, that is a newsboy cap on Jacob's head. He also can do this. Sneak, sneak, sneak. Yes, essentially.
What do you think you're doing?
Oh, one more.
No one goes in or out, unless there's a problem.
I hold the machines. That door opens, and I have my route to Ferris.
Essentially, when there's a hat on Jacob's head, he's more noisy and people notice him more. When the hood is up, people can't see him as well, and he causes less noise. As you can probably guess, I tend to forget to use the hood, but I do actually use it quite a bit. Because even with my punch first, ask questions later attitude in some games, I would prefer not to get the attention of every single person in the facility. Mostly law enforcement, because believe me, most of my other game deaths from my personal file, which, by the way, I have completed this game. I've completed the main sequences. Two very annoying to find things because you can't get information on them in game. I'm working on them, but I don't want to have a repeat of my personal file where a bunch of cops killed me over and over again. Also, I may have issue with free run. I still haven't quite figured out how to use it without any issues. Sometimes Jacob will just stand in front of a wall and not do anything. Also, if something is timed, don't expect me to get it. I'm not good with time segments. Oh! Goodbye.
The sanitary inspector. This man is dead.
Hello, blighters. Simple answer. Whack, 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 and stab. And then counter when the bar flashes yellow. Counter using circle. And when that shows up on a person's bar, use the cross button to smack them. By the way, yes, it is actually called cross, not X. It's a common misconception. Queensbury rules. Essentially, smack fast enough to get a 40-hit combo. It's much easier to get than you think. Also, Jacob has throwing knives equipped right now. they deal they depending on how strong some of your skills are, they can deal anywhere from minor damage to killing them with a headshot. Essentially, this one of these babies impacts with the head of an enemy, they're gone. Although Jacob isn't actually good at using throwing knives, it's Evie who's better at using those things.
Ferris, I'm coming.
Also, do not kill innocents.
Time to head for higher ground.
To my knowledge, it doesn't actually affect anything, but you do get a constant blaring message appear on your screen if you kill an innocent. Which, considering one of the later tools you get, can happen more than you'd expect. All I'm gonna say is electricity. Woohoo! Oh yes, this circle is yellow, not detected. See you and are gonna look at you. Circle is red. Time to fight. Also, when that little what kind of looks like an after image appears, that means enemies have lost track of you and will look where that was instead of where you are. Also, if the little triangle above an enemy is not red, you can just assassinate them and spare the trouble of knocking them out. Also, you can loot people. It gets you money and items. Watch this! Stabby. See? Stab. And yes, I will loot all I can, because looting and treasure is my life. Hello. Goodbye. Goodbye. Mine. Also, if you click down the directional pad, you whistle and enemies will come towards you. Also, yeah, clicking left or right directional pad will cause that menu to appear. I'll go more into that later. Do. Goodbye. Sorry. I do try not to knock over NPCs, but sometimes they get in the way.
You still with me, by the way?
Of course I am. What do you think I'm doing?
Hello?
I'm right here. Oh, don't tell me. Draven, I'm still on air. Draven. Hello? We've screwed up something. Draven shall return, people. Obviously, one of us has had something with our internet screwed up. That was odd.
Yes, it was.
Well, you're back now, aren't you? And you can hear me,
Yeah.
correct? Good.
Yeah. I was checking to see if it was a stream thing, but it didn't seem to be.
I'm still broadcasting. Oh yes, when you see that little red bit on the map down at the bottom, that means enemies will be much more on guard in the area, and if you... well, let me just say this. If you attack somebody while in that area, everyone will see you. So be careful in those places. Also, stealth is not as easy there, as I found out the hard way several times. Now, ooh. Whoop. Goodbye. You know, right now it may only be £3, because it is pounds in this game. But later, oh, it'll be so much more. Trust me, money isn't as big an issue as you may think. You end up with a lot of leftover money later on. Yes, yes, I'm aware, game, what to do.
Probably said there is no New Game Plus option with some of the... Oh, never mind, wait, there is. I just kind of remembered you can just hit chapter select a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's less there's a New Game Plus, more you can just access this stuff whenever you want to.
Makes sense. And, I mean, you do still get everything.
It is a memory after all. Oop.
Mm-hmm.
I see someone. I'll surrender. You can't kill me if I surrender.
I will admit that I go Eagle Vision quite a bit because of how loud some stuff is in this game. By the way, these are the Blighters. They're the bad guys.
With horrible, horrible plaid ad red shirts.
You really don't like those shirts, do you?
It looks awful! Like, the color contrast is just abhorrent. How do you make red plaid look awful? That's heresy.
Basing it off the color of blood.
And that's where they fuck up. You have to, plaid has to be a very neutral red color. It can't be like based on anything. It just has to be a very neutral red. How do you think the Scots pull it off?
Oh, for the record, people, this is Eagle Vision. Red enemies, green is your allies, blue is law enforcement, so don't piss them off, and yellow often relates to the mission or stuff you can interact with.
I'll be taking you.
Yeah, for the record, Draven is playing Persona 5 the Royal right now, so...
It's great! I don't need any... I can just hold off on having a Priestess Persona for a bit when I need this damn thing.
Oh! Cutscene-ish.
Mr. Ferris, sir. The lad in the factory should be taken to be bandaged by the apothecary.
Fine. But dock his wages.
Yes, sir.
Well,
Shall we arrive at a final price, Mr. Ferris?
let me show you how to cover assassinate. Just whistle from behind cover and stab. Boop.
Someone take care of him!
Don't worry that. It is my hope that this good news may please you. I await further instructions. I am, etc., etc. Ferris. Send it to Mrs. Starrett, please, Mrs. Starrett. How's your father these days? I hope the doctor I sent has facilitated a speedy return to good health.
Yes, sir. Words cannot say how grateful we are.
There's no need for thanks. You and the others in this office are dear to me. Do let me know.
Goodbye.
It is done. Oh? What did you accomplish, boy? A bolt loosened in Starrick's machine. A large bolt. but not enough.
Your Grandmaster will fall.
You assassins can circle London to your heart's content. The mechanism we have built has been going strong for 100 years, and will run 1,000 more. It is the very city itself.
We will take London from your hands.
From Croydon? You lurk in the shadows like a coward. I doubt it.
Establishing care along for how Jacob feels about the Templars. Assholes! Time to kill them all. And by the way, the wiping blood from the kerchief has only been in Assassin's Creed 1 and this game. Probably because Jacob and Evie have been in the Order since they were born, same as Altair. The rest joined it later on in life. In fact, Ezio didn't join it until I think he was at least 15. Can you... Raven?
On which part?
Did Ezio join when he was like 15? The Brotherhood?
If I'm remembering right, yes. It's mainly because, if I'm remembering right, he was never a part of the Assassins until, well... How do I properly word this?
Until his family was killed?
Executed. Yeah. He kind of had to witness that and eventually found out about the Order of Assassins and why his parents were even killed in the first place.
Yeah, I am in fact mildly aware of several scenes. Like, for instance, I've seen the scene where Ezio, spoilers by the way, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Ezio speaks to Desmond. I have seen the scene where Ezio's parents are killed, and I have also seen a brief video of Leonardo da Vinci's flying machine. Yeah, most of the series does come from this game and 1. Oh dear.
We seem to have made an unscheduled stop.
You think? Ow. Really? Oh dear. Mayhaps we should run, Jacob, before this whole thing goes kaboom. Oh, fuck. I just got a warning from my internet.
Maybe next time I'll walk.
Well, that's sequence 1 complete. Along with our first belt. Belts are Jacob's defensive equipment. Meanwhile, Evie here wears cloaks. So, enjoy that. Don't worry, I'll be trying to get all of the pieces of equipment from this game. I'm kind of a kleptomaniac in that sense. I do love treasure. I'm a treasure hunter after all, or as many people will call it, a thief.
Yard. Guard quarters. Bruce's laboratory. This is where the piece of equipment is located. No loose ends. Now, to decouple the locomotive from the connection.
Well, where is it? Huh? Where's Brewster's supplies? Meter.
So, now we can go into Brewster. I am not nodding off. Jesus. Yes, Brewster made the kaleidoscope but forgot to patent it. So, Brotherhood, the Order, and the Blighters. Blighters work for the Templars. That's all you need to know. So, this is where you're supposed to learn how to whistle.
Time to deploy the diversion.
Stop. Game. Please stop moving the camera.
I'm on my way, Sir David.
Our first chest. And within comes knives and money.
Sir David was working
Hello,
with his father.
boys.
He's an inventor. He made that tube.
Whoa, what the fuck happened to his body? I'm gonna stop trying to loot that body now.
Please, miss. Don't tell us. Yes, sir.
Now, while Jacob uses brass knuckles, Evie uses something a bit more refined, shall we say. Like bloody. This is why I said I hate free runs sometimes.
Smells like Jacob's cooking.
Yes, they whack the car. They whack that with
Keep you busy while I head into your lab.
their hands. I don't get that at all. Either way.
Follow me down the tracks.
Shit.
Stay here. And keep a lookout.
All right. I'll shout if I get any bother.
First for a bird's eye view. Can't be too careful.
How will it come apart?
Not your concern. Bring back the cargo.
Oh dear. Up.
She's not allowed in here.
And they cannot be fought anymore because they left the area. Although now I have several issues. For starters, Evie uses cane sword. Essentially, a sword hidden within a hidden blade within a cane. Now, so far we've fought the plain old mooks. However, this big guy over here is a brute. Brutes have a fuck ton more health and strength, so they're a lot more dangerous. See? Lots of damage. Also, I'd like to note that right now you have no way of healing. That happened. The game can be a little twitchy in these first two areas, so don't think too much about it. Whoop! Anyway, time to synchronize.
I need 2 more weeks with the device.
Your questionable practices are beginning to draw unwanted attention. You've been given more than enough time to achieve results, Sir David.
I was unaware that you expected me to perform like a cocker spaniel.
Permit me to remind you of your obligation to the Order.
Miss Thorne, you ride me like a racehorse.
Sir David, I will return tomorrow. If you have not unlocked the device's secrets, forget your dogs and horses. I will leave you to the wolves. Good day.
I was merely promised a tour of the premises, my lords.
Who sent you?
One of Green's spies.
Get that man to interrogation. Then I want him brought to the lab.
What a pity. But no deviations from the mission.
So, there's several things we can do. For instance, there's one over there, 2 there, and now, firstly, leap of faith. I love those things. Whoop. So, time to show something fun. If I could actually do it. dead.
What the hell was that?
Goodbye. There we go. Yeah, I suppose. Aha! I knew I heard a chest. Come to Papa. Philly. Oh, by the way, we have smoke bombs. They basically make the whole sneaking thing extremely useful and easy. Although personally, I tend not to use them too much. Hello, my dear. Mine. Oh crap! Well, time for a brawl. Goodbye.
What the hell was that?
Goodbye. Alright, I have to kill him with hanging barrows to actually complete the mission properly. Ugh.
This is Mr. Maxwell Roth's music hall yet? No. Count yourself lucky. My advice to you, if that man asked you to get in on the act, run. I'm a loyal.
We'll find out more about Mr. Maxwell Roth later. For now, don't worry about him. Yet. I really want to get the cover assassinate perks done quickly, because what the actual perk itself gives you is wondrous.
Downstairs for a taste. Would he tell us? Not on his life. If I had that key, I would keep my mouth.
Nearly there. Where is Brewster's laboratory? All reconnaissance pointed straight here. Secret laboratory. Perhaps I can aid this interrogation.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Hmm.
I will take them too if you do not answer me. Who sent you?
What I did, my lord. I came on my own 2 feet.
Let me put his fingers through the mangle.
Not yet. Was it green?
Neither green nor black. Nor brown.
Henry Green?
Oh, Henry Green. Who's he? Your very soul hangs in the balance. That's what my mother said this very week when I went to the fight. But she always turns a blind eye when I come home with these. Thank you kindly.
Oh boy, kill me now. I've got some exploring to do.
What do you know? You rescue me.
Where's the hidden laboratory?
Untie me, and then we can parley, milady.
I'm pressed for time. Tell me now.
It's underground. Requires a key. One of the guards nicked mine, cheeky sod.
Thank you.
Now? Untie me?
You got yourself in. I trust you can get yourself out again.
Not to worry, milady. Can still recall a couple of tricks from me carnival days.
Charming.
Boop! He, within about a second, untied himself and got through the window. Don't ask. It's never explained to me how he did it. Now then. To go next. Why is it keep saying there's someone right there? May as well check. Well, here we go. Goodbye! Hey, I'm officially doing better than I did my personal file, because my personal file, I did not get that hanging, but that hanging barrel's optional achievement complete.
Yay.
Oh, you poor sod. Goodbye! Be taking that. He was tying his shoelace and he died. How sad.
What are you doing? Keep that key in your pocket, or else Miss Dawn will have your guts for garden.
Let's have a butcher's downstairs. I want to see that artifact.
Not if you value your life.
I could also just do this game. There is never a point in the game where you cannot just kill the man and then loot his co-ops for the item in question. As such, looting time!
Got it.
Be taking that. Now then.
Yep. Definitely a will seed. There's actually a bit of something I love about the will seed animations. It's just Joker's expression whenever he's using them.
By the way, have you even seen what I've been doing for this past little while?
Somewhat. I've occasionally had to alt tab at times so I can look at a guide. For obvious reasons.
Makes sense. Those wheel seats are in very annoying locations, as I've seen.
It's not. Some of them aren't. My issue is that sometimes it's vague where they are.
Just
like my main issue is that sometimes it's a little bit vague where they are. Just vagueness can be an issue.
I want that chest.
There you are. The entrance to Bruce's lab.
Perfect. And open.
I could. At least, I think the funniest thing about this to me is that is that you and me are both playing two technically stealth games.
I mean, and both of us suck at stealth!
It's not that I suck at stealth, it's just that I'm a perfectionist at stealth. If I see an objective, stay hidden, and do not get caught ever, I will gladly do it, but I am so paranoid about it that I could stay in one spot for 1,000 hours watching an enemy move back and forth.
Okay, so at this point I have unlocked skill upgrades. Essentially, you get 1,000 EXP, you get a skill point. The skill points, every skill costs a certain number of skill points, but several do cost more than the others. For instance, 6 for the highest level, and also you need levels. So far we have multi-finisher, stun attack, counter, tool combo, whistle, knockout, stealth navigation, air assassination, counter shot, eagle vision, and fast driver. And right now all we can unlock so far is double assassination. Which means if there are 2 idiots who can't see you, you can kill 2 at once. So what else can we unlock? Well, we can get a health increase, which Draven, to quote, why should I not get health, Draven?
You're more likely to do stupid things.
Yes, I am.
It's not even an if situation, it's just a when situation.
Fair point.
Because eventually they're going to just, like, get dumb because they have a lot of health they can use. And trust me, I've been there before. More health just makes you more prone to accept taking hits. But then I've learned the ways of Devil May Cry and realized no matter what health boost you have, you're still fucked.
We also have Unstoppable, which means the combo will last longer if you're not doing stuff with it. Slayer, which if you do a 10 hit combo, the 11th hit will put a target in automatic near death state. We also have Lockpicking, which I got immediately when I first did this, but I'm not actually going to do it now because lockpicking isn't required until you get to the main segment of the game. But that is my next step. We can't unlock leadership yet, but I'll go to that later. Eagle Vision 2 essentially allows me to see through walls, and Scavenger allows me to find more craft materials from chests. However, the one I'm going for is Loot Takedown. Essentially, if I assassinate somebody, I automatically get their loot and don't have to worry about, looting them later. It's incredibly useful early on. And always, so of course I'm taking it. Besides, thief. Now then, here's double assassination in action. Goodbye. And I already have another skill point, so time to take Eagle Vision 2 because that is very useful for this point in the game. That, and I actually use Eagle Vision a lot later on in the game, so having that early makes me more incentive to use it now instead of just later.
Makes sense, in all honesty.
Also, Lucy Thorne. I'm, once again, not going to go into her until we actually assassinate her, and that's quite a ways into the game. Database, what do we have here? Ah, yes. Robot Topping. He is a circus performer who ran away from home. Or rather, he fell asleep one day after he got away from another brawl with his siblings, and that crate he was in was actually for the circus. He also happens to run the fight clubs and the races in the main segment of the game. I hate the races.
You were trying to control carriages like you would anything else. And trust me, you're better off just... As a person who's played Assassin's Creed races, you're better off just having just a singular horse. level 30.
Cheers, love. Which, by the way, that does not have everyone taking attention towards Draven. It's just a thing I say when I get weird.
Or you're also in Great Britain land, so using Great Britannia terms makes sense.
I mean, Jacob is also bisexual, so.
Increase the electricity. But it'll become unstable, sir. You heard what Mr. said. We need results now.
So that's a piece of Eden. Not that it matters.
Alright.
So we have to air assassinate him. This'll be fun.
If you don't mind me saying, that would be an exceptionally bad idea.
You know, Reynolds, it might just be worth the risk.
Sir David, you cannot be serious.
Just a wee joke, Reynolds. Once we unlock the artifact secrets, the Templar's grip on London fixed. The assassins will fall, and Darwin will be little more than a bearded memory. That is your secret. Not a sour build. What a wink.
Okay, I never got this far without getting spotted last time, so I have no idea how to air assassinate this man.
That'll be fine. Just need to find a high place and you'll be good.
A little more electricity! Stop there! It must be kept stable! Take note of its hue! Watch carefully! Yes, that's it! Oh, the devil is he!
Nope, 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 nope.
Here we go! Get out! You're nothing to me!
Whoop! Up I go, up I go, up I go, up I go!
There's no escape, young lady! Just give up!
Nope! Nope! Up I go! Up I go! Up I go! Up I go!
Huh.
Goodbye! I actually fucking did it somehow! that was the stupidest way I've ever seen somebody.
I have so much more to discover.
Do not be afraid.
I'm not. God will protect me.
Stupid.
continue your
Look,
experiment.
you need to understand. Stupid is not exact. Stupid does not mean. I mean, it doesn't work. If it worked, it worked. And
I will take that one too.
Yeah, okay. I just caught up with the stream on that. You
We
went.
cannot take with us. It's in our nature.
What did you expect from me? Honestly, what did you expect man? No, seriously, what did you expect from me?
I mean, I'd like to just bring up that the way I saw it. Hey, I saw it. You were fucking doing some hopscotch up to like, up on like one of the generators, and he was just like looking at you like, what the fuck is she doing?
He didn't actually see me, for the record. I didn't have
like, he didn't see. The game didn't react that he saw you, but like his in-game model was looking at you like, wait, what the fuck?
What the fuck? Oh!
That was far too.
It was more like, not what the fuck, more like what the fuck. Because before he got to say the last word, he got a blade in his throat.
Well, I say, that is quite a crazy. God!
And he had seen me earlier too. Oh, I hate this part. This part is really uncomfortable for me personally, because I have claustrophobia.
I don't have claustrophobia. What I have is, I guess it kind of counts as claustrophobia in a way, but I have fear of crowded places that involve people.
That is actually a different phobia, but I can't remember what it is. Anyway, we got the thrifty cloak, and now time for more cutscenes. So both me and Draven shall shut up now.
What was that explosion?
What explosion?
Evie?
Piece of Eden detonated and took the lab with it.
The magic lump of hyperbolic metal. I'm shocked.
Simply because you know the value of the pieces does not
All
mean...
went according to plan, hmm?
There was a slight complication.
How slight.
The lab exploded.
Jacob.
You derailed a train.
Oh, he did. Did he?
Well, the train derailed and I happened to be on it. I killed my target.
Brewster is also no more.
Then all in all a successful mission in spite of you two.
What about London?
What about it?
We're wasting our time out here.
You know as well as I do that London has been the domain of the Templars for the last 100 years. They are far too strong yet. Patience.
The Templars have found a new piece of Eden.
Sir David is dead. They do not know how to use it. The Council shall guide us.
I need to pause for this moment, because according to what I found out, the Council only became a thing in Unity. It is never shown or mentioned before that, and has no impact on this or Unity to my knowledge. Can you confirm that, Draven?
When you say council, do you mean Council of Assassins?
Yes.
I don't think so. Technically, the assassins don't work under a united banner, as in there's not like an entire group of them that like meet every every like couple of years to just confirm how things have been going. No, it's usually a separated effort.
Yeah, from what I have gathered, the Templar Order is in fact a concentrated, focused effort, which is why they have so much power in the modern day, but the Assassins are essentially small groups scattered across the globe and form like the Italian Assassins, the Parisian Assassins, the British Assassins, the American Assassins, etc.
Yeah, the only kind of difference...
Which is why the Assassins are so fucked in the present day, because they have no allies and no footholds!
The reason they never did that is most likely because they could never really trust us to be a more... I suppose the term would be open group?
Well, no,
I mean,
it's not,
let's be
I
frank.
think it's less that. I think it's more the fact that they wanted to let humanity grow on their own power. Well, the Templars want them to grow under their power. So having a concentrated, like, main stronghold would go against what they were going for. Although it backfired because now the only real group of assassins left is Sean and his group, or whatever the hell you call it. They call that group. So, cheers.
They're just technically a modern-day assassin group. There's more, but they're separated. I mean, it's kind of a thing. And with the whole council thing, it mostly depends on the region. If I had to describe the Italian assassins with Ezio at the helm, it was more like a... Honestly, if I have to put it into words, it's kind of like a private militia.
I mean, that makes sense. Like, from what I have taken from information about the assassins, it's not that they're a concentrated force. It's that several different people know of the teachings and pass on to as many pass it on to those that deem worthy. But there's never been like a concentrated. This is every assassin we know of. There's no records of them. There's no, like, facts or statements. The assassins are shrouded in mystery even for themselves, while the Templars are much more well-known. Which is backfired because that means that the assassins don't know everything about their order and don't know everything about what they can do.
Sometimes for the best. I mean, Altair hid things for a reason. I mean, I mean, if you want a little bit of small context, you kind of find out that Altair hid that the original leader of the assassin organizations betrayed the entire assassin organization.
He's also the one that made him go underground in the first place, to my knowledge.
Yeah.
Also, I'd like to note something. Rebecca does actually question what they were called before the Crusades. As it turns out, their names roughly are the Holy Knights and the Hidden Ones. So, let's keep going.
Not advice that your father would have seconded. I shall see you back in Crawley. Patience, Evie.
The gentle sound of opportunity passing us by.
So what's stopping us? London is waiting to be liberated. Forget Crawley.
Father would have wanted us to listen.
Oh, Father. You could continue his legacy in London.
Freeing future generations from a city ruled by Templars. You know, Jake.
Any other questions of assassin plot lines as long as I'm here?
Not yet.
Oh,
I'll get to it so it fits in line with the narrative so far.
Fair enough.
After all, this is essentially the tutorial.
I know. You've only had a taste.
I shall also be right back, viewers.
Of our latest acquisition from Abstergo. But I want to check in on Sean and Rebecca. I still think attacking a Templar is a mistake.
I've returned, everyone. Just remember the fact that I'm,
Welcome back.
unpaused. I'd like to know that the drones are named Desmond, Clay, Lucy, and something else.
Wait a second. What a lovely surprise.
Our mutual friends will be here shortly to search for the artifact. Once it's located, I'll let you know.
Super. Always a pleasure.
Prick.
It's people like you that give historians a bad name.
I'm afraid I don't have time for you today, Mr. Hastings.
Thank you for making my job easy.
Oh, shit.
It does look grim.
Master Berg, Agent Acosta. Deal with them, please.
Move it!
Hunt them down!
All they had to do was wait for you to search the data. Their little stunt has put the whole operation at risk. You need to synchronize Jacob and Evie's memories. Find something that puts us ahead of the enemy. Time is of the essence, and lives are now clearly on the line. Good luck.
That little stunt is par for the course for assassins.
Par for the course is a bit of an understatement.
Never seen so many people all at once.
Churning seas of London. It's just the way Father described. Now, to find Henry Green and formulate a plan of attack against the Templars.
Is Mr. Green again?
The assassin watching over London? Did you not listen the first 3 times?
Listen to what? Oi, watch it.
Beg pardon, sir.
Oi! Come back here, you filthy dipper!
Back into control! And we pushed a blighter. Oh dear. Oh, for Christ's sake. Get back here!
mind your little mobs.
Gotcha.
Keep it.
Oh well. What do we have here? You're on our property.
Push him, stay on his back! Don't let him breathe! He's as good as
Goodbye. Assholes.
Excellent.
Anyway, I should probably grab a takedown for Jacob. And also Eagle Vision 2. Ooh! I have more skill points. Well, obviously I'm getting lockpicking. It's kind of my thing after all. And now I'm level 2. Which has unlocked a whole new slew of things. For starters, Health Boost 2, which we need Health Boost 1 to get. Unstoppable 2, same thing. Counter Boost, which increases the amount of counter skills. Lockpicking 2, same idea. Intimidation, which I will go more into when it actually happens. Because we don't have Kidnap yet. Stealth, which increases your stealth, duh. First Strike, which if you hit an enemy before they enter combat, you do huge damage, but I don't usually see that happening much. Eagle Vision 3, which increases the radius and shows which way enemies are facing. Scavenger 2, and Defense 1, which increases melee damage specifically. Personally, though, I'm getting Unstoppable. Actually, no. I'm getting Slayer, because Slayer is much more useful. Also, we have a few things we can grab. Should probably go into what the 3 weapon types are. Starters, we have Knuckles. Knuckles, more than anything, increase attack power. So if you want just pure damage, go for those. Cane swords increase stun, which means that if you stun something, they'll stay stunned for longer. Wokukiris, which we have not unlocked yet, increase your lethality. The higher your lethality, the easier it is to get an enemy into the near-death status, where the health bar is flashing and you can take them out, and one more hit will kill them. Also, seven things we could craft, but right now all we can get is Great O1's Caress, which is a nod to Lovecraft, but we need to be level 5, so there's no point in doing it. However, for now, I'm going to hold back on buying anything, because money is sparse in the early game, and I find getting money for something else later on is more important than getting anything. Also, belts. They increase your defense and stealth. And these things, I won't matter by the time I get them, because there's some better stuff. Outfits, let's see. Well, for starters, we have Gunslinger, which we're trying to level 2 with Frederick Aberline. I'll explain that once that actually occurs. But it increases your damage of firearms, which will unlock soon. Outdoorsman is an early game mission reward, which increases your detection speed, and it's very useful for Jacob. Master Assassin, which is, I think, around sequence 5, increases Kokiri damage. Blackguard Suit is around sequence 7, and it decreases your melee damage received. We have 2 unknown items. I know what they both are, and they're both very good. Simply Jacob is unique because it's the only thing that gives Jacob the Newsboy cap, but increases Brass Knuckles damage. Ezio, which is Ezio, and something that I got just for starting, this is something that's downloadable and free. It's an odd to Frankenstein's monster, and it increases your damage both melee and range, and increases your Kokiri damage, which this early on, delicious. Sorry. Also colors, which I won't bother with because this particular outfit doesn't actually change. The color, except for it's extremely slight, so much so that it doesn't even matter. So you may as well not. So at this point, it doesn't even matter if I do it. But yeah, now with this, even though I look I look like I just come from the slums, is very useful this early on. Also, it gives me a nice top hat. So for now, I should run.
Not on my watch.
No, no, no! I want to get there first, please! Game, come on, come on, come on, come on! Ha ha! I did it!
It was marked on Father's map.
And this is Henry Green.
Assassins. Equal in height, one female, one male, 2 decades old, and those devilish smiles. You must be the Fry twins.
And you are?
Henry Green, at your service. I was sorry to learn about your father's passing.
Hans Cerberus is an asshole to try to convince to join me.
What can you tell us about
Draven?
Starrick? I suppose the council desires news.
London must be freed.
Sorry.
To provide a better future for all of its citizens.
Well, thank goodness the council saw reason and sent you to aid us.
Yes. Thank goodness.
Unfortunately, I am the bearer of bad news. Today, Starrick sits at the helm of the most sophisticated Templar infrastructure known in the Western world. Every class, every borough, the gangs, the industries. His reach extends all across London.
I've always thought of myself as a gang leader. Firm, but fair. Huh. Well, I have uniforms. And I'll unite a mix of disenfranchised outsiders under one name. That's it, Evie. We can rally them to our side.
Oh, like the way that you rallied those card players at the Oakbrook Tavern into the river.
Oh, that was different. They beat me at whist. I can see it now. We'll call ourselves...
The Rooks.
Rooks.
Oh, I saw a spotlight.
You're never good at chess either.
Have you got a better plan?
It's a nod to a bird!
Well, let me show you the layout. Shall we?
Okay, I'd like to note something. A rook is another name for a crow. And what often appears around assassins and synchronized points? Crows. It's actually a very good nod to it. So for now...
Climb the chimney and see all of London for yourself.
Whoop.
Climb the chimney and see all of London for yourself.
Come on, game.
Look at what Starrick has done to the city. Whitechapel is riddled with crime. Child labor, despite regulations. A gang known as the Blighters overruns the streets. And Templars manipulating behind the scenes. As in all the other boroughs, we need to return this city to the people who built it in the first place.
Agreed.
We will free London from Starrick. You have my word.
And my Rooks.
Miss Fry, your passion is inspiring. Come. Let us return to my shop, and I can bring you up to date on the rest.
So, Database. To start, we have Henry. He's actually was a part of the Indian Brotherhood, but he was better with books than blades, and that personality of his caused a mission to fail, and so he got kicked out of the Indian Brotherhood and sent to London. Yeah, he lacks the killing prowess that most assassins have. As I pop. And now we follow Henry. A nice casual walk throughout the city with my horribly patched and tattered clothes. God, these look bad. I forgot how crappy these look.
Keep quiet. Kalog's looking for me. Who's Kalog? One of Starrick's gang leaders.
Why does he want you?
He's after some of my more arcane research into one of the precursor artifacts.
The Piece of Eden.
See? Yellow.
Tell me about these blighters.
In search of an army, Starrick gathered up the nastiest of the underworld. Some of the city's gangs tried to prevent it and were slaughtered for their efforts. Now, only Whitechapel's clinkers remain opposed, but they're no match for the blighters.
Well, let's shine these clinkers up then, shall
Let me grab something quickly.
Just the sort we're looking for.
You can't be serious.
Evie, they're ready to fight.
So, what I just collected was an illustration. There are 4 main collectibles. Beer bottles, pressed flowers, illustrations, and these things that won't matter for a goddamn long time. Now, if we look in the progression log, progress tracker, here is all the things we have to get. There are 345 chests in the world. I'll be getting all of them. Ignore that last thing. There are 26 lock chests, which either have rare materials that are needed to craft certain things or a piece of equipment. Helix glitches, which are a thing. Viewpoints, illustrations, pressed flowers, and beer bottles. These 3 things are spread throughout the city, as are the chests. Secrets of London are special items that to my knowledge, they unlock a special piece of equipment, but they're in music boxes and bloody hard to find. And these things, which I'm not going to go to, and this last thing, that last one in the corner there, I won't be explaining that for a very long time. Not as long as the Royal Correspondence, but long enough.
Look out, London. Here come the rooks.
I almost forgot the show. Sometimes you can switch between the 2 siblings. Right now, you can't. Also, with the big button in the center, I always forget what it's called, we now see all of London. There are 7 boroughs: Whitechapel, the City of London, the Thames, Southwark, Lambeth, Westminster, and the Strand. My recommendation, Whitechapel you have to get from the start, so that is important. But I recommend taking out Lambeth and Southwark first. Lambeth, then Southwark, because this is where about the first 4 sequences of the game take place. So they're very important. They're also important for many side activities, so take that into account. I recommend taking out the Thames next because you never specifically have to use that area, but you have to go into it at one point, and it's also the next easiest thing. Then the City of London, as sequence 5 and 6 take place here, along with a bit of this area. And then the Strand, and finally Westminster. This also works because this is in the order of their difficulty level. Also, you are shown how many collectibles are in each area, and if you zoom in, you can see where there are viewpoints or shops, which are these things. And this is a bloody helix glitch, which I'll go into later. I hate those things. But yeah. We can't see much now, but eventually this entire place will no longer be red. Eventually. Right now, don't bother. Say hello!
Found this city. No one looks without going.
Say hello to our first associate. Can you guess who he is? Draven?
Sort of, and no.
Yes,
How's the game, tell me?
Bloody Drood. I'll never finish it at this rate. Only Providence knows where those words are headed now. Well, I must get to work replacing them. Should you ever be in the mood for a tale or two, you can always find me where the ale is warm and tempers are hot.
Oh.
What an odd man.
Yay.
That Mr. Fry was Charles Dickens. Knows everyone and everything in the city. If I were you, I would keep that connection in your back pocket.
Charles Dickens, a famous writer. He is one of your associates, and his stuff is interesting. What is important is that the last thing in his tree will unlock in a very, very good piece of equipment for Jacob. If that's all I want to know about the end result.
They must not follow me back to my shop.
We'll take care of it.
Yeah, you might be able to use this.
Oh God, I hope so.
My carriage is nearby. Make use of it to throw them off my trail. I will meet you at the curio shop.
Say hello to your second main piece of equipment in the game, firearms. Also, there's something else too. Carriages. They're a fast way of moving, but they're also bullshit. I hate carriages. Press cross to go fast, square to ram, circle to get off, and triangle gives you whatever your main piece gives you, essentially whatever is in your hand.
George would do nothing of the sort. Whatever's left of the Creed would perish under your control.
Harsh words, dear sister.
I do hope Mr. Green made it back safely.
Don't tell me you fancy the bloke already.
And what do you suggest we do if our number one source of information turns up dead?
Starrick can't be that hard to find. I say we turn the carriage round and go find him.
This is why you aren't in charge.
Easy.
You drive with R2 and you brake with L2. Say hello to Henry Green's shop,
Gave them more than that.
which
Who are all these people?
you will never have to use again.
I've established a number of connections across the city.
Splendid. We'll need focused aid.
Focused aid. We take over Starrick's gangs, we cripple his control.
You're not aiming high enough. Starrick has influence in every branch of society. We need to match it.
I see what you're saying, Evie. We need the road.
And again, called
Urchins. Children make for excellent spies.
Yes, they do.
Smart as a whip, that one.
Finally, you would be wise to remember that Starrick never acts alone. There are gang leaders in every borough. You'll meet them soon enough, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Rexford Kaylock, known for his ability to vanish before your very eyes.
Should we make him vanish for real?
I suppose.
One moment. Templar targets you might want to look into. Be cautious. It's rough out there.
No, don't worry about me, Greenie. I can handle a few thugs.
Agreed. Now, that's sequence 3 completed. So, let me explain what we do now. For starters, we have firearms now. The Derringer pistol. Simple. The pocket pistol, which we will unlock soon. The Mullen revolver. The Bullseye revolver, which, once again, Ubisoft only. the Boar Revolver, Single Action Army, Lancaster 4 Barrels, the Double Action, the Lightning, the Self-Loading Pistol, the Molotov Revolver, and my favorite, M1877 Thunderer, which I absolutely adore. Although annoyingly, you can't get it for quite a while, which pisses me right off. Also, conquest activities. I will go into all of these as they show up, but let me start with the basics. In the world, there are 4 activities you must do.
What's the plan?
Database first. So,
Almighty planner.
let us start with what we have here. Firstly, we have gang strongholds. They are simple. Take out all the enemies within the area, and several challenges often require you to kill enemies without them seeing you, or taking out a gang leader undetected. They, along with Templar hunts, and also bounty hunts, get you loyalty levels with Henry Green, which unlocks, well, Kukiris. Templar hunts, find a specific enemy and kill them using unique ways. There's also one more thing, but I won't go into that until we actually get it. Then we have Abilene. Abilene will allow you to do bounty hunts, that thing I mentioned just a second ago. Essentially, Abilene wants you to find people and kidnap them and take them to a specific area. By killing them, you do not pass a challenge, and passing challenges will get you extra pounds and EXP. Finally, we have Claire Odia, which I will explain very soon.
You're the one with the grand ideas. The gangs, the fights, even the outfits you'll wear. Perhaps you should lead the way.
Can't switch to Evie yet.
If you insist.
Maybe you'll change your attitude if I come over there.
Now we can switch. And for starters, I'm actually going to get Scavenge for her. Level 2. And lockpicking, of course. My thing. Evie will not be seen much, as I don't like using her quite that much. But she uses capes, and her, well, this is her unique garment, same as the rags, and these are debatable in use, because they only increase the damage of one very unique thing. So for starters, what I meant to do. Since we are here, my first thing that's going to be is illustration, because by getting all the illustrations get you experience, which early on is incredibly important. So, of course, I'm going to get I'm going to grab stuff that gives me XP. Illustrations will always be in these small little alleys, and they'll always glow very faintly. See, talk about experience. Now, since we're right next to it,
Somebody must be after me.
Well, I'll get rid of him first. Second. Time to go find Abeline. Sergeant Abeline. Where's Sergeant Abeline? Well, where Evie is.
I don't see Mr. Abeline.
Well, we tried.
I may know a thing or two about that splendid fellow you're talking about.
What's this?
You trying to blow the gaff?
What?
Sergeant Abeline, at your service. I presume you're the Fry twins Green mentioned.
I was expecting you to be a policeman.
I was expecting you to be discreet.
Henry Green said that you could help us go unnoticed.
This is how it will work. I will give you the names of criminal gang members. You will bring them back to me. Quietly.
Oh, we'll be as quiet as an old lady. A very hairy, strange old lady that looks a lot like a policeman.
Anyway. Now we unlock bounty hunts, which, out of the 4 main things you have to do, are my least favorite. Essentially, go behind them, press circle, cut. In case you couldn't tell why I hate this, you have to be stealthy. Shit. Get back here! Damn it, not again!
This is gonna be a recurring theme.
Hiya! Fortunately, once you've knocked them out, they will not run away anymore. Just don't kill them. Goodbye. Anyway, since it's not kidnapping, now is a good time to unlock intimidation. Essentially, or I can't unlock it yet. Essentially, sometimes enemies will wiggle about trying to get free. When you have intimidation on, they won't do that anymore.
Get off me!
So, you see this little circle around them? Here's the thing. If an enemy gets within the circle, your cover is blown. Oh, pause. Your cover is blown, and you lose, and the target gets released. The target is released, and you have everyone after you, and they keep running. Now.
Thought you could get away with that, did you?
In you go! That's satisfying, because I will not lie. When I first played the game, I just killed the guy. I did not kidnap him. Also, it's honestly just better to just knock them out, because kidnapping means they can get away. When they're knocked out, you'll just drop them like a sack of bricks and pick them back up later. Much faster. Now, let's get in here. Where? Oh, yes. all the way over here.
Walk on, girl.
Now, once you kidnap a target, well... Move! Move! I don't want to get caught! I don't want them to get me this early. Any blighter that sees you will automatically notice you. And right now it's not that bad, but later on it gets a lot worse. I hate this part of thing. Oh yeah, you do get something for doing wanton destruction. You need to be anonymous to get this to work. See, already getting some loyalty. I've already explained this game. And we have freed a part of Whitechapel. Now, I'm going to explain something. My modus operandi in this game is, once I get enough money, I'm going to purchase maps. The maps will unlock the location of relocation of treasure chests for the area, and there are three specific maps that cost a pretty penny to buy, but one unlocks locations of all the illustrations in the world, one unlocks a location of all pressed flowers, and one does it for all beer bottles. Once I have gotten all those maps for the chests and those three items, once I unlock an area of the burrow, I'm gonna clear out all the collectibles in the area. But since this is Whitechapel and it's very small, and I don't have any of those maps unlocked, I won't be doing that now. So that Helix glitch, I'll grab it later, because those things are annoying as shit. I hate them. I hate Helix glitches so much because they have very specific, irritating things. Oh, yeah. There's something called crowd events. Essentially, you help someone. In this case, point the gun at the bullies and you'll run off. For complete crowd events, you get experience, and in case of this crowd event, you get some money. Sorry, no. Crowd events unlock money, give you money. My bad. You can also have to stealth kill messengers, defend civilians, and there's one other one that I honestly always forget. Now, where the hell is this? There he is. For now, I'm just gonna refill my throne. Ah, yes, treasure maps right here. See? Now, here's the thing about treasure maps. It's not worth buying these three yet because, one, you can't really do anything with them because you're in the early part of the game, and secondly, you can actually get them for cheaper later on after you get a skill. In all honesty, it'd be better to grab the Whitechapel treasure map, but I would not recommend getting the maps until you've either you're at least have conquered 2 burrows and you feel confident in what room in the area, or until you've conquered the burrows so you can just collect everything without worry. Also, the more chests you collect in an area, the less expensive these maps will be. So get as many as you can, then buy them. Although if you just want to buy them, I'm not stopping you. Now then. We are right next to the Templar hunt, so I'm going to do that one. Or the game doesn't... There. Now, there is one other thing in this game that's new that makes traversing this place a lot easier, because at the time, Syndicate was had the largest world map in any Assassin's Creed game. I'm pretty sure that Origins and Odyssey are bigger, but doesn't matter right now, does it?
I think the correct term to go with is that if I had to put it into words, Brotherhood and the others technically had bigger maps, but the thing about that is that they had multiple city-states, just the entirety of Rome. Yes, you could technically wander throughout the plains of Rome itself in Brotherhood, but the only thing you were doing out there is mainly finding some collectibles, possibly some missions. But the main missions you would end up finding would be in different city-states, which are a bit smaller, but still pretty.
Yeah, there's a lot more. The gang wars and such are there's a lot more to do in this game then.
Yeah, you're essentially dealing with the biggest single hub area.
I'm gonna just quietly be over here. Oh! For fuck's sake. Hop, 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 hop! Up we go. Time to get away, time to get away, time to get away before it blows up. Yeep! I'm dead. I think I'm dead. Nope, I'm not dead. Shit. Shit, 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 shit. I am at no health. I need to get out of here because I'ma die. Or I could be sneaky, sneaky, and just quietly grab all these chests. So, time to pick the lock. My lock picking is already coming in handy. So our first lock chest gives us. Drum roll, please, maestro. The color green.
I can't do drums. I can't do drum rolls, so you're getting that instead.
Yeah, it works. Oh. Yeah, if I see a chest, I'm grabbing it. Also, yes, I didn't get the stupid challenge done. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I did try, and I failed. Boy, smoke bombs too. Ah, shut up, game. I swear, some of these missions are something you're supposed to do once you're stronger.
They probably are. I mean, I dealt with Alpha Origins a lot, but the problem is that there's really no quantifiable sign you should be anywhere in particular but where you are.
Yeah, but how are you supposed to fucking do a thing of dynamite like that? Oh yeah, kill criminals. Another crowd event. Simple. Stab! Blade in the crowd. What's that again? Ah, assassinate 50 enemies. Wow, I've already killed 50 enemies by assassinations. That's pretty interesting for me. Now then, where to?
Stabby works.
Let's unlock a gang stronghold next. Also, I'm taking this carriage.
Doing fine, girl.
Goodbye. I am unstoppable! You could never stop me, Holmes! Never! You shall never catch me alive, Holmes! For I am the Lord of Crime!
I'm starting to mildly worry if that actually... I'm starting to mildly worry if they just decided to... Ugh, got my brain.
Crap! Crap, 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 crap! Run! Flee! Flee! I hate the police! Oh, okay. They didn't catch me. Good. See, the police in this game are very dangerous, because they will knock you out very quickly.
Some have stated that. Ugh.
Shit. Hiya!
Good place to start.
No, you don't, no, you don't, no, you don't, no, you don't, no, you don't. Come on, come on. Ah, fuck it.
Must be one of the clinkers. Good place to start.
This is not a scenario you usually want to get into, but at this point I may as well. Now, if you couldn't tell, one of the clinkers died, or both of them. Doesn't really matter because I don't know why, but the gang stronghold events don't give as much EXP if you complete the challenges. I don't know why. Goodbye. So, if you're completing a gang stronghold event, you give one to a rook, or in this case, and it all burns. It all burns. And now, we have technically unlocked the rooks, which are a gang that can help you in battle. Kind of like the Brotherhood command in Brotherhood. Now time to show you what the rooks are. Or rather, I would be, but it's time to meet our first gang leader.
But you'll do for now. As you like.
But here's something you can do in this game. You can technically kill the gang leader before they get away. However, with Kalok, you can't because of that thing he just did. But with the other 6, you can kill him before you even get to the last event, which is extremely satisfying. I only failed to do that one time, and that's because I got swarmed by blighters. No, sorry, 2 times. And I hadn't actually figured out that I could do it yet before I actually figured it out. So the first 2 gang leaders, I didn't know that. And the last one, I just couldn't catch them in time, because they had like 20 blighters! So what do? Rah! Say hello to the Rooks. In Eagle Vision, the Rooks appear in green. Draven, you might want to look at this.
Remember, I'm gonna be a bit behind, so...
Well, do you see the Rooks yet?
Yeah. Again, that's way better.
Yeah.
That's like 10 times better.
The Rooks are essentially they'll fight alongside you, but right now we can only recruit 2. Okay, for now I'm actually going to unlock Intimidation just to save me trouble later on, because I'm playing that. Besides, I don't really want any of this skills yet. So yeah, the Rooks. Holding R1, they can do several things. Right now, I can only have them wait or disband, but there's a couple things you can do with them. I'll get to those later. But the Rooks will actually they'll have various comments for what you do. Okay, you know what? That's great. First Helix glitch time. Or it would be if I could grab it. Yeah. Unfortunately, there's no play jump button in this game. Get this at this point, but we can't unlock it yet. Oh, I got it. Shit. Also, despite the fact that Rooks aren't technically formed at this point, they will actually say Jacob and Evie's names depending on who you're playing. Some of their comments can be downright hilarious. It's pretty funny what some of the comments are. Also, you can get these guys. Yeah, those big guys that smack things around for you. You can actually get them as Rooks. Not yet, but once you unlock the last thing in the menus, oh boy, those guys are good. So, time to unlock the last event. Which is, I won't lie, is probably my favorite one. Which, considering what it is you have to do for these, is really weird. But yeah, this last one we're unlocking is actually my favorite of the 4 liberation events, 4 conquest events you have to do. Once again, incredibly weird considering what you're supposed to do, but the challenge you have to do for this, I've completed almost all of them. The only ones I haven't are, once again, when I didn't know what I was doing, so the first few times. But yeah, Draven in particular is probably going to be flabbergasted by me saying I like this. So everyone, time to meet Clara O'D. The smartest, most snarky kid you've ever met. She's 8, by the way. Or 9. She's younger than 10. That's all I need to know.
What is this place?
It's nice to see at last. This is Babylon, Alien. Here we make it our business to know the streets and provide children with the opportunity to control their own destinies.
Clara, Mr. Green said we might be able to help one another.
In exchange for our services, we ask a small favor.
Well, why not? You seem to have taken most of my money. Why not take a small favor, too?
There are several factories about the city that are powered almost entirely by child labor. Those children work long hours with little pay, and most are not permitted even to leave the factory grounds. They suffer terribly. I need you to save them.
A small favor.
In return, we offer you intelligence, something you clearly need.
Oh, hold on a minute.
I'm late for an appointment. What are these terms?
We accept.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Never understood this. Clara herself, I find kind of interesting because she is incredibly snarky. So, for starters, I am going to go sneak mode because this particular assignment is, how do I say? Getting spotted is a very bad thing. Because of that, the alarm bells.
That is still quite horrifying.
The main point of child liberation is this. Find all the kids and free them while also killing the foreman. Do not let them get the alarm bell. If they hit the alarm bell, a lot of bad things happen. When I say a lot, I mean a lot. Basically, if you see that little icon if you see that little like ringing set, the bell on an enemy, kill them immediately. Also, yeah, this is how do I put this? Let's see, get them out find the kids, get them out, kill the foreman, get out. For earlier areas in the game, you can kill all the enemies, and it is actually and the little icon, the little clip you get later on is actually very heartwarming in that case. But past that, no, you should really be careful. Yeah. Yes, you're looking at this right. The whole point of the child liberation is to stealthily sneak through the small area, not get seen, assassinate, and free children. Yes, I said stealth. For the man who admitted that he is horrible at stealth and would rather going guns blazing, just admitted that his favorite thing to do in the favorite child liberation, favorite thing to do in these scenarios is stealth. Any response, Draven?
Not sure.
It's also notable that sometimes the children will actually not be in the main factory, which means the only thing you have to do in the factory itself is kill the foreman. And you can just sneak outside and get the kids out the other way around. Yep, the wrong way. So, honestly, I think the most reason why I like stealthing my way through this area is one specific little thing. Draven, I'd like you to pay attention for this bit.
Okay.
Once you free all the children and kill the foreman, a short scene plays. If you have killed all of the enemies within the area, the scene that the clip is afterward is your rooks coming in and gently reassuring the children and then getting them out of there. Otherwise, the scene will show the rooks killing the enemies while the children run off. It's honestly very warming seeing these rooks, who are confirmed by canon to be nothing more than crooks, criminals, and generally someone you wouldn't expect to be nice to children. But they're incredibly nice to them. It's very nice. It's heartwarming.
Hey.
So, after you've conquered all the areas of a borough, and thus clearing all the red spots, up pops the gang war. Once you complete a gang war, the area will be conquered. Also, as you may notice, there's a little segment at the top right up there that does show how much your progress. But it just really checked to see how many things you completed.
Tell me something, Alderman.
Also, if you want to find rooks quickly, just go to where the gang stronghold took place or where a trial liberation took place. There will always be rooks there. Alright, another crowd event. Thieves. You find a thief and you tackle him. They can be men or women, and you tackle them. But if the thief is a child, you actually just kind of nudge him on the shoulder. It's actually quite heartwarming.
To my side.
Generally, if you want to see something that warms your heart, just any event involving a kid is extremely warming.
Yay.
Now then. Gang war. One of the most lackluster, depending on if you killed the gang leader earlier, can either be an epic final confrontation or boring as fuck. Now, personally,
there you are.
I will try at least once to grab a gang leader and kill them, so you can see what actually happens when you kill them. Otherwise, I will probably just not let him get away so you can see what happens. Also, because I'm not gonna lie, the only gang leaders I've actually seen their fight is Kaylock, the one in charge of the city of London proper, and Southwark. So if I can kill one of those three, well, two, then perfect. Yes, I will be trying to kill at least one so you can see how satisfying it is.
All that stands between you and Whitechapel is the villain controlling the borough. Kaylock has demanded you settle the blame for territory in a gang fight.
His loss?
Yeah. I'm sure he can put this to bed.
And now we unlock who carries proper.
Assassin Christmas.
Kukiris. Now, kukiris are actually something that was very used in India. And in game, they use them for stabbing, but they're actually better for chopping. Yes, the difference. Also, I'd like to note, kukiris are an armament weapon of choice. So if I have a usually I'll be fine with a kukiri for Jacob. I actually find Cane Sword's better for Evie due to what she has to do. But yeah, usually when I'm playing and fighting, it'll be with a kukiri. Because kukiris are just fucking awesome.
Are they your allies?
To quote Jacob just now, what is this, Greenie? Assassin Christmas? I can feel Draven glaring at me.
It's more for that sound you did more than anything.
Oh boy. Oh yeah.
Because that was disgusting.
Oh, shut up.
Mr. Rexford Kaylock has agreed to your terms and waits for you at the Whitechapel train station. He's bet his train on the fight.
Yes, he's better train.
No Kaylock.
So, is everyone ready for a gang fight? Kill! Yeah, the rooks are pretty damn strong. Here's Kaylock! Oh, fuck! I just missed the healing glitch, Draven!
Didn't you say you weren't going to care about those?
You got a point there.
I was about
but,
to say.
But it's the one that I took like an... Long story short, it took me an hour to get that one when I did my personal file.
Just gonna stop you right there from doing something you will fucking regret. You'll regret it, you'll hate yourself, and you'll want to be somewhere else. Trust me, I know the feeling.
Yeah, if you can just get him in a combo, you can just whack these guys to Kingdom Come. Goodbye, asshole.
It appears to be broken.
Oh well, at least we have a train now. It's not all bad.
Yes, we now have a train! Which actually does matter in the game proper.
Time to do some dumbass leveling up of a persona. Yay. Alright.
Kaylock is dead. Whitechapel is no longer in the hands of the Blighters.
You now have the chance to join our ranks. We welcome all who would stand up to Starrick and his cutthroats.
Welcome to the Rooks.
Welcome to the Rooks, everyone. Our little gang.
Ah, you bastard. I'd rather throw myself to the tracks than run Bertha another mile for that full bag.
Kaylock? He's left the station.
Mel. Hello, fancy pants. I didn't meet you.
I'm Evie Fry, and this is my brother, Jacob Fry.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Agnes McBean.
A delight.
I thought I was getting a promotion. I suppose I'm out of work now.
Come work for us instead.
I won't bile your heat. You pay better than scraps?
I'm sure we can at least match that.
Then may I present to you Agnes and Bertha, lady and locomotive, at your service. I'll be in the next car.
Whoa.
A hideout on the rails. What an excellent idea.
Okay, yeah, that's a glitch. Green Henry should be right there, but sometimes the game likes to glitch out and models don't actually appear. This is not the first time this happened to Henry for me. This happened to me another time, which is very awkward.
Well, now, I would like to follow up a lead on... Jacob? Is this serious?
I'm not doing anything until this gets fixed.
I believe I know someone who can help with that.
I knew you would, Greenie.
Yeah, sometimes the game can, glitch.
You know, a mite of money goes a mickle bit in this city. Think of the power of good you can do with the purse you bring.
So, we have now unlocked the train. For starters,
You talk of a store in London.
we get money from the income. It happens every so often, but there are things you can do to get that higher.
That there map shows who to speak to. Old friends, if you will. Give him a whiff of that sterling, and maybe you can save us all from having to lay down our knife and fork afore we're ready.
So, the next thing we unlock now is the gang upgrades map. Gang upgrades. So here's what gang upgrades do. They can affect the rooks themselves, which is what the ringleader tree is. They can affect the city or various NPCs, which is what the insider tree is. And Swindler has effects such as increasing money or items. Also, there is a category of stuff in ringleader that actually weakens the blighters. However, right now all we can get is Medicine Market. You may also notice there are 4 icons above us. Every upgrade costs money and some amount of items. There's chemicals. I believe that's supposed to be cloth, metal, and leather. Chemicals are something you have to use a lot of, and they're by far the hardest thing to find. So try and get as much of that as you can. For now, Medicine Market, which we can finally get healing items. Dear God.
Healing items are important.
So, we've unlocked several things. For starters, we have Rook Training, which automatically increases the level of all Rooks to 5. We have Rook Riders, which makes it so that Rooks will appear on the streets with carriages. aka, you can get a carriage for yourself and some Rooks along the side. Rook Watchers... Okay, let's go into this. So far we only have protectors. We can also get watchers who are essentially long snipers. Brutes, which are the heavy hitters, and enforcers, which are much more likely to use their guns than their fists. Also, in terms of ringleader, in terms of this first tree, after you unlock Rook Training, you unlock Allies in Arms. Essentially, when you tell Rooks to fight, they will automatically open with a volley, which can be deadly in the right circumstances. Then you can upgrade to the level 7, and then increase burst to that volley, and finally level 9. Alongside Rook Riders, you can also make it so there are more of them, make their courage stronger, and bring out forth a cavalry call, which essentially you get to summon a carriage of rams straight into the enemy and get more Rooks. Then there's stuff that weakens the blighters. Firstly, their carriages get weaker. Then their health goes down. Then their attacks are weakened. Then their guns get weaker. And finally, Templars get weakened, which we'll go into more later. For Insider Tree, you can make it so occasionally when you fight something, the police will not come in and try and hit you, not kill you. And then make it so that once you've conquered a borough, blighters won't come up and try and kill you the second they see you, which is useful. Little Rooks. Oh, this is useful. Essentially, you find a kid, and you can interact with them, you can get money or materials. A lot of money. These are something else. And these increase the growlers, which are those sturdy carriages, and dispatchers, which are essentially what essentially what came before fire engines. And this is something I'll explain later. Same with this. and this. Black market affiliation. Once you get this, all gun and throwing knives will become 25% less cheap. There's also something where that any gear and weapons you have to buy will be less. And finally, city takeover, and by far the first thing you should gun for. Every single gang upgrade will cost less to get, which is incredibly useful. There's also these. Essentially, they increase the amount of money you get. And then these increase how much money your safe will get. For now, I'm gonna go straight for city takeover, but I can't unlock it yet. So for now, I'm gonna hold back. Yeah, gang upgrades are useful. Oh, God. And this is the next thing you should be doing. However, I'm actually going to call it here. We've been here for quite a while. It's definitely past 2 hours. And we've unlocked the first area. So, we might as well finish it off here.
Sounds fair.
Everything on it. So, this has been Roxas Shade.
And their ever-faithful commentator, kind of, sort of, maybe.
Draven. Playing Assassin's Creed Syndicate! Thank you all very much for watching us in this stealthy, dark London adventure. And Jacob and I will see you next time. Goodbye, my friends. And always remember, the assassin